Hey everybody, welcome back to the one where I do a podcast. As you know, this is the second episode of this show. And what we do here on the one where I do a podcast is we analyze every episode of the show Friends. So that's right, we are on the second episode, the one with the sonogram at the end. And I have heard your complaints, you whiny pieces of shit. No, I've heard your complaints. I've decided to change up the format a little bit, and I think we will start the show with a brief overview of what happened in the episode, so we're all on the same page, and we'll go from there and then into the rest of our segments that we have planned. Okay? So this episode, the one with the sonogram at the end, it begins with Ross's ex-wife. She actually shows up. We get to meet her. We get to meet her partner as well. Let's see, what else is going on in this episode? Monica's and Ross's parents are coming, which is stressing Monica out because they always bully her for being Monica and not being as successful as her brother, who married a lesbian and then got divorced. Let's see. Oh, Rachel loses the engagement ring in a lasagna that Monica's making. So naturally, the gang has to get in there and dig around for the ring. That happens. It's a good bit. We get to meet Rachel's, not ex-husband, but would have been fiance. Fiance, that's what you call him. The orthodontist. And that happened. Oh, we find out he went to Aruba with the maid of honor at the wedding, which, wow, just totally burned Rachel there. She got owned. This is a king move from Barry. King move. Owned. Rachel got owned. Ugly naked guy, a recurring joke and character kind of is introduced in this episode. Which is awesome. Let's see. Joey receives the rune of Mesonoths, and that'll keep coming back. So that's an interesting thing that happens this episode. And and then it ends with the sonogram when they go in for Ross's ex-wife's sonogram for their child, and then they struggle naming the child, which is a good funny bit. And that's what I want to talk about first, is that Ross let me back up. Ross goes into the sonogram, right? And then he starts playing with those things that that allow the doctor, to open the woman's vagina. And he's playing them with them like it's a duck or something, like a child. I don't understand this at all. It's bizarre. It almost feels like Ross, this episode, is on like the spectrum or something. I think there's something not right with Ross. This episode, actually, I think Ross might be on the spectrum. So you know what? I'm going to actually take a test as Ross that I have a test pulled up right here. And I'm going to take it as Ross, and we're going to see if Ross Geller would actually be on the spectrum. I think I'm pretty qualified, not because I am on the spectrum, but because I watch the show enough that I could pretend to be Ross. So, and again, we don't want to diagnose anybody here, but I would like to say from a medical perspective, if there is something wrong with Ross's brain. I don't want to diagnose him. I just want to know the medical term to be able to understand what's going on with Ross. So not a diagnosis. Essentially, I would just want a doctor to explain what is wrong with Ross and then put it in some sort of medical term that would hopefully be in a medical dictionary. So we're not diagnosing him. Okay, so I have the test pulled up right here. I'm going to take it as Ross, okay? And then we're going to see what kind of results we get. So let's go through this. I prefer to do things with others rather I can't read. I prefer to do things with others I prefer to do things with others rather than on my own. Ross, loner. No, wait, let me be in Ross's mind. I am a loner. That's what Ross would say. He disagrees with that. I prefer to do things the same way over and over again. Yes, definitely agree. Ross is very much a creature. I am very much a creature of habit. If I try to imagine something, I find it very easy to create a picture in my mind. Nope. I need, not very creative. I frequently get so strongly absorbed in one thing that I lose sight of other things. Yes, 100%. This is literally basically what the whole show is based around. I have to notice small sounds when others do not. Yep. I usually notice car number plates or similar strings of information. Absolutely. Other people will frequently tell me that what I've said is impolite, even though I think it is polite. Yep, Ross is very rude. In a social group, I can easily keep track of several different people's conversations. Nope, not at all. I find social situations easy. Nope, they're tough. I tend to notice details others do not. Yep, because he studies fossils. I find myself drawn more strongly to people than to things. He does love that monkey a lot, but that's not a thing. A monkey is like a lower level people, in my opinion. So agree strongly. I tend to have very strong interests. Yep. I enjoy social chit chat. No. When I talk, it isn't always easy for others to get a word in edgewise. No, people interrupt Ross all the time. I find it hard to make new friends. Considering that he's only friends with these people the whole course of the show, I'm going to say yes, very much agree. I notice patterns. No. If Ross noticed patterns, the show would only need to be like a season long. I'd rather go to the theater than to a museum. Nope. I work at a museum. Does not upset me if my daily routine is disturbed. Nope. Disagree. He loves routine. I frequently find that I don't know how to keep a conversation going. Yep. I find it easy to read between the lines. Nope. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture. Nope. Detail guy. I know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. No. He talks about dinosaurs and dumb shit all the time. I find it easy to do more than one thing at once. Nope. I'm often last to understand the point of a joke. Yep. I'm good at social chit-chat. They already asked that question, I think. People often tell me that I keep on going on about the same thing. Yes, dinosaurs. When I was young, I used to enjoy playing games involving pretending with other children. No. I like to collect information about categories of things. Yes, fossils, dinosaurs. I like to carefully plan any activities I participate in. Yep. I'm not very good at remembering people's date of birth. Middle ground. Your score is 44 out of a possible 55. Scores in the 33 to 50 range indicate significant autistic traits. Okay, so that I'm not diagnosing Ross. I'm not diagnosing him, but I think this is 44 out of 50, I think is pretty telling. And remember, this was not me doing this. This was as I was pretending to be Ross. Okay, this is all from Ross's perspective. This is Ross that we're talking about. So I thought I'd get that out of the way. Major point of contention in this episode, as I said, is the naming of Ross's child. It's not just his child. It's him and his ex-wife's child. And they can't decide on the name. They start throwing some stuff around. I just looked at the top names for 1995, which is when this first season of Friends aired. I guess I technically would have been, made before then, but it aired then, so we're assuming it's supposed to take place in 1995 AD, the year of our Lord. For boys, we're looking at Michael, Matthew, Christopher, Jacob, Joshua. These all suck. Where's Ben? How far down did they have to go on most popular names here? 31. And then his ex-wife wants to name her some bullshit name about something. I don't even remember. I don't think people even really care. Hey guys, I also heard your complaints about last episode. Apologies about all the edits spliced in there. I think the editor just went he took it a little too far. So now I'm going to try to do less edits. We're going to keep it tight. Minimal screw-ups, minimal fuck-ups. Damn it. No, we're not going to say as many swear words. I'm recording at night, so there will be no animal noises, okay? No, there will be no animal noises. God damn it. Okay, guys, now we're going to move on to our segment where we talk about that's not what we talk about. It's we craft a new friend. I've got some great write-ins. I appreciate everybody who's been sending things in. I love you so much, and I appreciate you guys help me keep the show on. Okay, this first idea for a new friend sent in by Michael C. in Ottawa. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. My idea for a character is a Hispanic family man named George. A character with an already established family would add an interesting dynamic, being that he works at a plane manufacturing plant. His blue-collar origins would also allow for some interesting side plots. Being Hispanic would add some interesting color to the cast, and scenes could include his best friend Ernie and his wife Angie. This is just George Lopez. You can't just send in characters from other shows. Not that, I mean, this would technically Friends and George Lopez do take place in the same universe, but not in the same time frames per se. And George is supposed to live in Los Angeles. It wouldn't make any sense for a plane manufacturer to be in New York. So, please don't. If you're gonna send in a character, it should be an original character. Do not just send in other people's characters. Not that maybe we could have another segment where it's just about characters from other sitcoms, but please don't send in just other characters and we're not going to do that. Okay guys, let's give another write-in a try for character to add on to Friends. As you know, you guys send in the characters and then we discuss if they would be good for that dynamic. It's kind of a fun theory crafting, semi-fan fiction experience for you and me, the host. We get to work together on it. Okay, so this next one from Emma in Washington. Thanks, Emma. My idea for a character for Friends is a woman from Brooklyn. She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens, till her boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes. What was she to do? Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny. Okay, you're rhyming. That's interesting. I'll keep going. So over the bridge from Flushing to the Sheffield store, she was there to sell makeup, but the father saw more. She had style. She had flair. She was there. That's how she became the nanny. Okay, this is the theme song for the nanny. This isn't even, you didn't even write this. I'm not upset because Fran Drescher would be a good addition to the Friends cast. But again, does not take place in the same time period. It's just going to be an issue there. You didn't even bother to actually write a description of the character. This is just the theme song, which is great. I love. But again, I think we're going to have to add in a different segment where we go over these things in and of themselves. Yeah, this is the nanny. Okay, don't send this in. I want original characters, right? Original characters from now on. Okay. All right, let's just go for the third character. Let's see. Somebody else had something original. This one's from John in Des Moines. Car driving by. This one's from John in Des Moines. Thanks, John. My idea for a character to add into Friends is a small cartoon boy named Bart Simpson. Fuck. Okay. I like this segment. And I don't want to have to stop doing this segment. So, just please try a little bit harder. Bart Simpson is a cartoon character. And I could never see someone on Friends saying, "Eat my shorts." It's just crude and ridiculous. So no. Bart Simpson is a no-go. Bart Simpson will not be in Friends, even in any fan fiction. All right, well, that's the end of that segment. I think we'll move on to our next segment in TOWIDAP. We have a co-host. He is on the Skype call right now, so why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe give us your credentials for why you're qualified to talk about Friends.
I've been watching Friends since I was about 10 years old.
I've been watching it since I was 9.
Dude, okay, well, I've watched it probably over 30 times. What about you?
I watched it probably like 32 times.
Well, how about you say something, and then I'll say what song back.
Okay. I own every season of Friends, the collector's edition.
God damn it! I only own 7. I apologize. This is a good Christian podcast.
This is a Christian podcast.
So how about that episode 2, dude?
Yeah, that one's pretty good. So earlier in this episode, you missed it, but I already did a analysis of if Ross has autism or not.
Well, I mean, I think we need to focus more on Joey in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, why is that?
Well, he seemed to be solely concerned about the lasagna when Rachel is clearly going through a rough time. She had to leave someone at the altar.
She did do that. She had to.
No
choice.
I mean, when you're as attractive as her, like...
She is attractive.
I mean, you have the right to do pretty much anything.
You have the right to do whatever you want if you're attractive.
And Joey just didn't seem to care. He was just focusing on lasagna, and I think that clearly shows that he has a bit of the tism.
Well, Joey might
because
have the tism.
I mean, Ross is probably autistic as well, but
I think Ross is autistic.
Why would you say
I don't want to diagnose him though. No diagnosing him. But I think he's autistic.
There's the internet for that. We're not here to do the internet job.
Oh, right. You're right. You're correct. They see the sonogram. I'm curious about your thoughts about that. It's a pretty important moment in Friends.
Well, I think most of those things were fake because when did this episode take place? Like late 90s? Is that the time period we're looking at here?
That's correct.
As we all know, computers weren't invented until about 2010, I think.
That's correct.
I don't know how you could have an image of an unborn child, which is clearly not a human yet because it's unborn.
Right. Yes.
But
computers were not invented till about September 2010 by Michael Ottawa in the University of Waterloo, I think.
Oh, Waterloo. Wonderful place. Wonderful place, especially in the winter.
I've never been. Is it nice?
Yeah, my second dad's from there.
Cool. Okay, this next bit, we are going beyond just write-ins, and we're opening it up to the phones here on TOWIDAP. So let's take our first caller. All right, Betty, you're on the air.
We're being forced! Let's start!
Sir, I think you have the wrong number.
We need air support! Water treat, maneuver! Alpha squad, move up! They're coming! Oh my god! Man, we need more bodies. We're losing. They're dropping too much flies. We need more bodies, command. Please, send air support, send anything. Send everything. We need more help.
Okay, I'm hanging up.
Everyone is dying.
Alright, that was kind of a doozy. Oops. Let's just move on to our second caller on the line. Okay, you are on TOWIDAP, buddy. Let us know what you think about Friends.
Hey, I think Friends is really cool.
Yeah, I do too. What's your favorite season of Friends?
Probably 6, halfway through.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's when Rachel really, I don't know, glows up, you know?
Are you? Your voice?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you You're not supposed to call in. You're just supposed to be on. Other people are supposed to call on.
Dude, you said anyone could call in.
No, you're not. You're already on. You're a co-host. You're not supposed to.
You said anyone could go ahead and call in.
But it doesn't actually mean not how that works.
Well, sorry, dude. I just like.
Do you at least have something interesting to say?
I don't.
I'm hanging up the phone.
Okay.
Okay. You're not supposed to call in. You're just supposed to, move past
that guy seemed pretty cool. I don't know who that was, but he seemed like a nice guy.
All right, let's. Phones have been a bit unsuccessful, but we've got one more call. Let's hope we can actually talk about Friends with someone who's not us. All right, caller, you are on TOWIDAP. Let us know what you think about Friends.
My God, we're being overrun. The Canadians are everywhere.
This guy got the
I'm calling in immediate air support on my location. 7 Niners, Tango, Alpha.
even doing his job?
2,
No, this is
3,
just
1.
I can't help it. You have the wrong number. You're gonna have to.
Tell Charlie.
I don't know who you're trying to contact.
My husband.
This is a
I
friend
think it's
shop.
over for me. Send in the airstrike.
We're gonna have to cut that all out. God, no. What do you want? Please, not again. Please, you can take anything. Please, just don't hurt me. Don't touch the Friends collection. Please. Oh.
That's the power of Remington. Whether you're protecting your castle or invading someone else's, Remington is the tool to get the job done. A nail needs a hammer, a screw needs a screwdriver, and every American needs a gun. Head on over to Remington.com and use promo code TOWIDAP for 2.5% off any select apparel, including sunglasses, sports bras, and Buffalo Wild Wings gift cards. Remember to always listen to the One Where I Do a Podcast with your everyday carry. You never know who is going to tread on you. All right, special thanks to Remington for sponsoring the show. Appreciate it, guys. And now we have a read for Season to Door, I think.
Season to Door would like to extend a huge thanks to all the listeners of the One Where I Do a Podcast. Season to Door takes pride in delivering high-quality DVDs and Blu-rays of your favorite shows once a month, every month. You can use code SHOOT2KILL on their website for your first free month of Season to Door. Now, every year, $500,000 high-quality DVDs are stolen from American households. Do not be a victim. I repeat, do not be a victim. Head over to seasonador.com and get your high-quality DVDs today.
All right, yeah. Thanks, Season to Door. Appreciate it. I use the service myself, and
I love it.
Great
service.
It's great. It's amazing. I almost have
I
all
love
of
what they
Frasier now.
support.
So, what was that?
I love what they support. I love what they're doing.
I love
great.
a great brand. Great brand. You know, they reached out to the show personally when they heard it was going to get started, and we're like, we want to sponsor you. And, you know, just threw a big old chunk of change at us just to make sure the show happens. So
I mean, money makes the world go round. That's all I have to say.
True. Yeah, it's true. And Season to Door, they make a lot of money with their very high quality DVDs. They're looking to expand into the Blu-ray market, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, no, I'm serious. We're gonna have to cut that out. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't. You don't fuck around with that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, it's the first time you've been on the show, co-host, so I think it's time for you to let us know some of your favorite fans theories before we wrap up today. So, whenever you're ready, fire away.
So my favorite theory is episode 3 of season 3. Phoebe and Joey look at each other for half a second, and that shows.
Yeah, that's all we have
split...
time for today. So, thanks for tuning into TOWIDAP. From now on, we're gonna have 2 people on the show, so be looking forward to that and all our fun banter, right, co-host?
Yeah. Thanks,
okay, that's
thanks
all.
for having me on.
Yep. All right, yeah. Tune in next week. We're talking about episode 3. Thanks again, guys.
See ya.